This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Tristan Hildebrand coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Thursday, April 2nd. Vermont passes a resolution in support of establishing a trade office in Taiwan. Japan and France underline the importance of peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait, and the Defense Ministry announces a computer-simulated portion of the annual Hankwang military drills. But first, today's top story. Vermont State unanimously passed a resolution in support of establishing a trade office in Taiwan on Tuesday, marking both the United States' 250th anniversary and 30 years of Taiwan's direct presidential election. Just last year, Taiwan became Vermont's second largest trading partner, with both sides hoping to deepen economic and trade ties. The resolution additionally supports signing a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, on economic and educational cooperation, coinciding with the 27th anniversary of the Vermont-Taiwan sister state relationship in 2026. Taiwan has expressed its willingness to sign the two MOUs and reaffirmed the reciprocal driver license agreement originally penned in 2020. The document specifically recommends establishing a Vermont trade office in Taiwan to deepen long-term trade relationships. It also affirms that U.S. policy toward Taiwan is based on the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act and supports Taiwan's meaningful participation in international organizations such as the WHO and the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Taipei Economic and Cultural Office Director General Charles Liao witnessed the passage of the resolution. In 2025, trade relations between Taiwan and the United States, as well as between Taiwan and Vermont, reached historic highs as the second largest trading partner of Vermont and the fourth largest of the United States. Japan and France underlined the importance of peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait in a joint statement released this Wednesday. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and French President Emmanuel Macron held talks in Tokyo, releasing the statement following the meeting. Takaichi and Macron exchanged views on the situation in the Indo-Pacific region, including China and North Korea, per Nikkei. Last November, Takaichi stated during a parliamentary session that Chinese military action against Taiwan would threaten Japan, prompting strong backlash from Beijing. Despite a U.S. intelligence assessment claiming that the remarks represent a significant shift in Japanese policy, last month Chief Cabinet Secretary Minoru Kihara disagreed, saying the approach remains quite consistent. Takaichi and Macron shared concerns regarding export controls on critical minerals and other materials that could affect global supply chains. Takaichi said European security is closely linked to Atlantic and Indo-Pacific security, making the situation in the Middle East a common and pressing issue for both France and Japan. The leaders reaffirmed the importance of safety of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. The Japanese Prime Minister and French President concurred to collaborate on de-escalation, ensuring a stable supply of critical materials, and strengthening defense. The Defense Ministry announced on Thursday that the computer-simulated segment of the upcoming Hankwang military drills will be held between April 11th and the 24th. This marks the second year running that the war game portion of the exercise will last for 2 weeks. The war games will utilize the United States-supplied Joint Theater-Level Simulation JTLS system. Defense Ministry's Joint Operations Planning Division Director Major General Dong Jixing said during a press conference that the computerized war games aim to train leadership, decision-making, and planning capabilities of military personnel. He said exercise scenarios are based on real-world threats such as PLA gray zone harassment, enemy forces pivoting from drills to military action, and the open use of force against Taiwan. The scenarios will further include experiences from international conflicts like U.S. military actions against Venezuela and Iran. Dong said,
This includes early warning and timely response to threats, as well as the importance of joint intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, countering electromagnetic interference and drones, defending critical military and power infrastructure, and joint air defense and counter-assault operations.
Past Hankwang drills have drawn criticism for not placing enough focus on drone and anti-drone operations, so the ministry plans to prioritize those elements this year. Dong said that other new weapons, like the recently procured M1 Abrams tank, will also be included in this year's exercise plans. However, the ministry has not yet announced the dates of the live fire portion of this year's Hankwang exercise. Taiwan is a crucial core of Indo-Pacific security and a trustworthy partner in the global high-tech and artificial intelligence supply chain, according to Foreign Minister Lin Jialong. He outlines these as Taiwan's two key roles in global security in a social media post uploaded this Wednesday. Lin says Taiwan is an indispensable member of global security and economic prosperity, and will prove itself as a reliable partner as it continues working with the United States and other democratic partners. Regarding Taiwan-U.S. relations, the foreign minister says Taiwan has made steady progress towards a more comprehensive symbiotic partnership, establishing a framework through the Economic Prosperity Partnership Dialogue, the Pax Silica Declaration, and U.S.-Taiwan cooperation on economic security. He says the two continue to strengthen cooperation in semiconductors and AI to jointly promote a safer, more resilient, and more reliable supply chain. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei commented on Taiwan's role this Thursday. Xiao said,
Taiwan's importance stems not only from its values of freedom and democracy, but also from its irreplaceable strategic and economic position, especially its location on a key global shipping route, which has a significant impact on the security of the Indo-Pacific region.
When speaking to a visiting delegation of European lawmakers this Tuesday, Foreign Minister Lin underlined the United Kingdom's two voyages through the Taiwan Strait last year as concrete actions demonstrating the nation's emphasis on peace and stability and its understanding that Indo-Pacific security is inseparable from European security. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck off of Indonesia's eastern coast early Thursday morning, generating 30-centimeter tsunami waves, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, PTWC, warned that Taiwan could face smaller tsunami waves. The USGS reported that the earthquake occurred in the Molucca Sea between Sulawesi and the Maluku Islands at a depth of 35 kilometers. Per AFP, the PTWC said parts of Indonesia's coastline could see tsunami waves of 0.3 to 1 meter above tide level. It also indicated that dangerous tsunami waves are possible along coastlines within 1,000 kilometers of the epicenter, including Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, whilst Guam, Japan, Palau, and Taiwan may also experience smaller waves. Monitoring agencies in Japan, the Philippines, and Malaysia are currently monitoring the situation, but report that they expect no damaging threats. Colorful parades, live circus stunts, and a message to save our planet are part of the 2026 Ilan Green Expo.
Performers in colourful outfits sang, danced and paraded in a festive street show that kicked off the 2026 Ilan Green Expo, an annual environmental sustainability extravaganza. Besides the street parade and a live-action circus, visitors were also treated to a rich performance program during the opening ceremony on March 28th at Wu Lao Kung Scenic Area in Su'ao. This year's expo is scheduled to run for 44 days through May 10th, with 18 sustainability exhibit zones designed to educate and entertain while promoting environmental sustainability and love for natural ecosystems. Veteran musician Xie Wende sang a theme song he composed for the expo called May Dreams Bloom. Acting Ilan County Magistrate Lin Maosheng said, "From the land beneath our feet to the air we breathe, from the ocean to this plain of ours and even to the mountains, all of these are reflected in the content we have arranged inside the venue." Organisers set up 18 sustainability exhibit zones, hoping to teach through fun, spreading messages of environmental sustainability and natural ecosystem care. On-site family facilities encourage parents and kids to play together in the hope that all ages can contribute to sustainability while exploring the world around them. Eloise Phillips for RTI News.
Thank you for joining me for the news. I'm Tristan Hildebrand. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.